Adobe Acrobat Studio, so brand new. Show me all the things PDFs can do. Do your work with ease and speed. PDF Spaces is all you need. Do hours of research in an instant with key insights from an AI assistant. Pick a template with a click. Now your prezzo looks super slick. Close that deal? Yeah, you won. Do that, doing that, did that, done. Now you can do that with Acrobat. Now you can do that with the all-new Acrobat. It's time to do your best work with the all-new Adobe Acrobat Studio.
This episode is brought to you by CBS. DMV is a brand new workplace comedy turning misery into magic and chaos into comedy. Starring Harriet Dyer and Tim Meadows, DMV is here to serve you laughs. Watch Mondays at 8:30, 7:30 Central on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
Welcome to the Inside Job Boards and Recruitment Marketplaces podcast. I'm Stephen Rothberg, the founder of College Recruiter job search site. At College Recruiter, we believe that every student and recent grad deserves a great career.
And I'm Peter Zollman, founding principal of the AIM Group, the leading global business intelligence service for marketplaces and classified advertising companies. We consult with recruitment marketplaces companies and publish AIM Group recruitment intelligence and a free weekly digest. We also host the annual Global RecBuzz conference.
This is the podcast for you to learn more about how to create, manage, and work with general, niche, and aggregator job boards and recruitment marketplaces. Hey, Peter, it is great to be with you. If it's a today, it must be a podcast.
You sound like a program reminder for one of the big morning shows in the United States. Today,
Tomorrow on Today.
The only one of those people I can think of is the weatherman Al Roker. I can't even think of the other people who do that show anymore. Matt Lauer, but he became a lesson in HR and talent deacquisition.
I think it's French, persona non grata.
Absolutely. And of course, CBS had their own. So regardless, it's good to talk to you. It is good to bring people from all around the world. And, this is a fun thing we are doing here. I hope the audience finds it fun as well. There's always a little bit of gentle ribbing, and we hope a few nuggets of knowledge. What more can you ask, right?
Yeah. Well, and few nuggets of knowledge just for the benefit of the audience. This is one of those podcasts that was really difficult for us to schedule because there's a 13-hour time difference between a couple of us, and only a 12-hour difference between a couple of us. So. And you'll find out why, because today's guest is Joelle Pang. She is the general manager of FastJobs Malaysia. And kind of hold on to your seats because she's got quite the impressive resume. I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed at how little I've done and how much she's done. Joelle has over 12 years of experience in technology startups in a few different spaces: e-commerce, recruitment, mobile, and on-demand. She was the founder of two startups, one of which she exited after leading it to become Singapore's leading fashion e-commerce platform. I can be qualified to do e-commerce, but not so much fashion.
We can see your clothing today. Definitely not fashion.
Yeah, nobody has ever accused me of being fashionable.
Although that looks like the Zelensky drab olive T-shirt.
Yes.
So you qualify for that.
Yes, the audience can't see the video, but I am wearing a plain olive green T-shirt, and I would like to say it was in support of Ukraine, but it's not. It's just what was clean in the closet. So Joelle's company, FastJobs Malaysia, and its sister site, FastGig Malaysia, they focus on helping to connect low-wage job seekers to meaningful employment opportunities. So I'm really looking forward to learning more about that. Joelle, welcome to the Inside Job Boards and Recruitment Marketplaces podcast.
Thank you for having me.
We appreciate that you got up and stayed up. It's only 8 p.m. in your area. So we didn't ask you to stay up too late. We tried this once before. Somebody had a microphone problem. I won't say who, but it wasn't Stephen. And that didn't work, but you had stayed up until midnight. So and you would have been up till 1 a.m. We really appreciate that. It is good to talk to you. We obviously saw you at the AIM Group's RecBuzz conference in Barcelona in 2019. This year we had Huishan Lim spoke at the conference at RecBuzz Amsterdam. Can you talk a little bit about the major differences between how job boards, recruitment marketplaces operate in North America, Europe, and Asia, and specifically Malaysia, but Malaysia, Singapore, and Southeast Asia? What are the differences?
I would say that in terms of job boards, so for fast jobs, we focus on the low wage or the non-executive blue collar segment of the workforce. So everything moves really fast in Southeast Asia. And when we are talking about, and we are called fast jobs for a reason. So in terms of the segment of the workforce that we are focusing on, a key difference really is that we are talking about hiring in huge volumes and in an extremely compressed timeline. So the kind of job seekers that we are helping to connect to job opportunities are, people who work in your retail, F&B, hospitality, warehousing, logistics, customer service, administrative staff. And sometimes you're talking about hiring 100 or even 300, customer service or customer facing retail store associates to support an opening of an outlet. So definitely a lot of what we are looking at is very fast-paced, high-volume, urgent hiring. And I would say that that's a key differentiator because what we are also looking at is that, we do have a high percentage of non-executive job seekers over here in Asia. And in Malaysia itself, we are talking about 75% of our workforce falling within this segment of the workforce that we are connecting to job opportunities for.
My co-host, Stephen, also does a high volume hiring podcast. What's different about high volume hiring from onesies or fivesies, if I can make up a word?
Yeah, so I think that's a great question, right? Because the vision for us at FastCo has always been to reduce the disconnect between the white-collar, recruiters and also the blue-collar job seekers. And this exactly falls within the question that you're asking. Because if I were to ask you, Peter or Stephen, if you're looking to hire a senior marketing manager, maybe you might say, okay, it'll be really optimistic if I get a great candidate to join me in 2 months' time. And after serving their notice, maybe 3 months' time. But if I'm a restaurant owner looking to open 3 outlets in the next month, I'm talking about hiring 100, front of kitchen, back of kitchen helpers, service crew, and I need them here in 2 weeks' time so that they are going to be trained and ready for the grand opening. And if I do not get the sufficient number of candidates or workers in my organization or my restaurant in time, we are going to be talking about rental. We are going to be talking about operational costs that's going to be incurred, and we are going to be talking about missed economic opportunities simply if we do not hire in time.
Yeah, that is really insightful and very much the same in North America and Europe, that the speed to hire, not just how long it takes you to fill in the application form, but just when you get back to the candidate, when you extend the offer, how fast you're able to train and onboard them. The fastest employers win. One of the things that I think plays into the speed that really helps FastJobs and FastGig is that, if I understand correctly, you're mobile first. And in North America and Europe, there are certainly mobile-first job boards and recruitment marketplaces, but they're unusual. The vast majority of niche sites either have no mobile app at all, or it's hardly used. Most of the job boards and recruitment marketplaces, all the action is on the website. Do you have a feeling for why there's that difference? Is it just a FastJobs and FastGigs thing, or is that common in Malaysia, Singapore?
I would say that I would say that if you were to analyze, the usage of technology by job seekers here in Singapore and Malaysia, it would make a lot of sense to be mobile first. And I think it's really easy to quote mobile first, right? But what it actually really means is that we actually released and introduced FastJobs on a mobile app even before we had a website, a web platform for job seekers to search for jobs. So that's really what we meant with mobile first. And I would say that that is something that's extremely unique for FastJobs as well, because we spent, a lot of time speaking with job seekers, or say the customers that we are looking to serve before we even designed and introduced FastJobs as a platform to connect job seekers to employers in this space. And why we have actually selected this strategy is because we do notice that internet penetration and smartphone penetration especially is extremely, extremely high in Southeast Asia and in Malaysia. In fact, we are talking about high 90% plus, of smartphone ownership. Some even own 3 to 4 mobile phones to juggle multiple business streams and workflows. And what this also means for our segment of the job seekers, where most of them are lower wage income earners, is that the usage of or the ownership of smartphones as compared to laptops or desktops is 4 times higher. So if you are looking to meaningfully connect these low-wage job seekers to gainful employment opportunities, we definitely need to put these opportunities on devices that they are more likely to own. So with this strategy of mobile first, we are actually able to place thousands of job opportunities in the palm of their hands as long as they are able to afford a very, very basic smartphone.
I'm still hung up on the notion of having 3 or 4 smartphones. When I was in Hong Kong, somebody explained to me why somebody would have 3 smartphones. One is the personal phone, one is the China phone that I use for calling people in China, and one is the Hong Kong regular phone. But I don't know where the fourth one comes in. Let's talk how if you're trying to drive high volume hiring, you also have to drive high volume traffic, and you have to reach job seekers, a lot of job seekers. How do you do that? Are you spending a ton of money on marketing? Are you bus cards everywhere? How do you drive the traffic?
So that's a great question, Peter. And I'm actually reminded of the very first question you asked. And this might be something that's extremely unique to the Southeast Asian market, where the non-executive, operational customer-facing job seekers really do make up a huge, I'll say, majority of the job seekers here in our part of the world. And if you ask me, how do we actually build up our huge base of job seekers? Like, for example, in just Malaysia alone, FastJobs has over 1.5 million Malaysia-based job seekers. And if you were to add in the job seekers we serve in Singapore and Philippines as well, we are talking about close to 5 million job seekers. And answer is no, we do not have a huge marketing budget, but what we do have is, I would say, a very meaningful product market fit. And if you think about it, the recruitment space for the blue collar job seekers has not been a very, I would say, not a very highly served. In fact, it has been an underserved, hiring and recruitment space by technology for a really long time now, where you have, platforms like, LinkedIn and so on that caters to this white collar or managerial executive positions. A lot of this low wage or non-executive job seekers have often had to rely on just walking around malls and also walking around shop lots looking for vacancy hiring, urgent hiring signs, and also just sometimes going to manpower agencies where they have to approach a middleman just to be connected to a meaningful job opportunity. So the idea of just having thousands of opportunities that might be customized and catered to your preferences and your I would say availability is definitely something very revolutionary. And I would say that because it really does serve a huge market need, the moment we introduced our app and just with a little bit of outreach, offline activities, and online marketing, we saw our job seeker base just grow and grow, and it really just gained huge traction to the size that we are today. And even right now, a lot of our new job seekers get to know about FastJobs through word of mouth, because the most important thing is to really, the proof is in the pudding, right? That you use FastJobs and you get connected to a meaningful, gainful opportunity with an employer that has been vetted, and I would say vetted by us before they even start posting a job.
We'll be back right after this break.
Hello, this is Michael Vandervoort from the Drive-Thru HR podcast, where we discuss ideas, trends, and activities that impact HR, talent, HR technology, and the workplace. Our focus is on expanding knowledge and igniting curiosity as we hear directly from people who are shaping the future of the HR industry. Join us.
Welcome back to the Inside Job Boards and Recruitment Marketplaces podcast. When you and I met a few years ago at the what was then Rec Plus conference in Barcelona, now Rec Buzz, and hopefully we'll be able to be in the same room again in April in Berlin for the next Rec Buzz. I just loved the passion, the language, the meaningful employment, and the example you just gave of somebody like walking around a shopping mall looking for help wanted signs. They can find employment. The likelihood that it's going to be meaningful, that it's going to be really well matched with their skills, with their ambitions, the hours that work for their families, it's just not nearly as good as if they can use a site like a FastJobs or a FastGig, where they can tap into a lot more jobs and find the best match. So much better for the candidate, so much better for the employer. I hope that you and the rest of your team every day kind of keep that in mind, that it's truly admirable, the work that you're doing and others in our space to help people find meaningful careers. Question for you. We've been talking about the business in Malaysia and in Singapore. It really seems like you guys really know what you're doing and are really listening to your customers, job seekers, employers. Are you planning on bringing that success to other countries?
So definitely, I think that our focus is on uplifting the livelihoods of these low-wage workers in Southeast Asia. So definitely we had a great start in Singapore, where we are headquartered. And Singapore has always been this unique mix where the ratio of blue-collar to white-collar job seekers is about 50-50. And then, of course, our next market being Malaysia, that percentage of the market that we serve goes up a little to about 75%. And if you look at the opportunities in the other countries in Southeast Asia, Philippines, where we are also based, or even Vietnam, Thailand, Indonesia, we are talking about the blue-collar non-executive workforce taking up 90+ % of the total workforce in the respective countries. So definitely huge opportunity. And when we talk about opportunity, it's not so much just, okay, how can we grow our footprint, or how can we get more customers, get more job seekers. But I think what really drives us as well is really the scale of the impact that we can make, because our vision is really to uplift the livelihoods of these low-wage income earners in Southeast Asia by using technology, of course.
Sounds fair. You mentioned Vietnam, Thailand, those places. Would the same app and the same approach work there? I mean, are you actively and aggressively looking at those markets, or are you just kind of thinking they might be good places to go eventually? And I don't want to ask you to give away trade secrets, obviously.
Oh, I do, though.
I do too, but not on the podcast. We do that for AIM Group Marketplaces report.
The three of us will just keep it between ourselves.
Yeah,
Nobody will. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So no worries. Let me just put on my hat as a regional business developer, right? I will say that it isn't so much a trade secret or so much of are we just going to launch our app wholesale? But what I would say is that in this non-executive blue collar space, recruitment itself is still very much a traditional industry. And what I have came to realize over all these years is that the more, I would say, the more traditional an industry, the more localization it will take in order for it to gain traction and to also build up a meaningful footprint in terms of both getting clients as well as job seekers. So of course, it is really sexy, right, to be saying that, well, we are planting a flag here, we are planting a flag there. But I think what is most important for us is to find meaningful product market fit, because FastCo as a company and with the ethos that we have, we're really here to build a sustainable business where doing good is part of doing good business.
Sounds fair.
So March 14th, you're going to be opening. I'm just kidding.
Sounds good. Are there any specifics about a gig platform on mobile that really work or really don't? And I think I got one more quick question after that.
So I would say that beyond just talking about the features and what FastGig has to offer, I would actually really love to talk about why FastGig was even introduced as a platform to complement what we do at FastJobs. And it really just goes back to the why, of FastJobs itself. And our vision has always been to create equal access to job opportunities for everyone, including the low-wage workers, including the non-executive job seekers. And what we have really seen is that, let us not forget the pandemic. I know we don't want to talk about that anymore, but that has happened, and it has really changed the way we look for jobs. It has changed our relationship with jobs in just that 2 years alone. And what we have really seen is this huge shift in the hiring and job seeking space, is this increasing need for flexibility. And it's also a time where workers, not just white collar, but even blue collar job seekers all around the world are finding an increasing need for flexibility. And it's not so much just a case of, I want work-life balance, or my priorities have changed. Of course, those are reasons too. But a lot of times in the segment of the workforce that we help and support and hope to uplift, a big part of why they require this flexibility is because caregiving duties in a lot of their households have shifted. So, job seekers who may used to be able to put up their time for a 6-day work week, a full-time role which requires them to work 5 to 6 days a week, is simply just not able to do that anymore. And instead of just discounting this entire group of job seekers who used to be able to work full-time and consider them as no longer relevant to our job seeker or our platform, we started thinking, hey, circumstances may have changed, and also job seeking behaviors or requirements may have changed. But how do we as an organization keep in mind our vision to continue creating equal access to job opportunities, even if the format of the job opportunity might have changed? And that is actually the genesis of FastGig, where we are also helping employers now to meet their operational needs, because even in our part of the world, it has become more and more challenging to hire post-pandemic. So right now with FastGig, we are helping job seekers in whatever format and whatever available time that they have, whether it be just weekends for some students or a few days a week for stay-home moms who still want to contribute and participate in the workforce. We allow them and give them the opportunity simply by providing flexible gig work that allows them to contribute whatever free time that they have to still earn a gainful income for themselves with respectable, reputable employers. And of course, this is also where we are really thinking about how can we enable and also empower our employers to still meet their operational needs, and also tap on what we call a hybrid workforce that is made up of both full-timers as well as freelancers, not only to meet their operational needs, but also to help them to keep a lean and on-demand workforce that is also supporting their daily operations. Because let us not forget that the recessionary pressures are also looming in the background. And I think this is really how we are really, I would say, thinking not just about the solutions, but really thinking about what are the problems that we exist to solve.
Well, that also answered another one of my questions, which was, can you explain the difference between FastJobs and FastGigs? And you just did very, very well. So I'm going to bring us full circle with the final question, and then we'll wrap up because we're running a little long, but that's always good. How many mobile phones do you have?
Oh, that's a great question. I used to have two, and then similar to you, I was like, how do I even juggle? Like, how do I let two devices run my life? And I have gone back to just one mobile phone with two SIM cards.
There you go.
Okay.
Okay. So one ringtone's for the family and one is for work, or some variation thereof.
So my phone is so secret, right? My phone is always on silent because I want to stay in control of how I use my time and how I stay focused.
There you go. Well,
So no ringtones.
It's great to hear about what's going on in Singapore, Malaysia, the Philippines, and to hear you say our next markets are Vietnam and Thailand. And no, only kidding. You said those might be in the future, so I don't want to put words in your mouth.
Thank you.
For people who want to find you, where should they find you and FastCo, FastGigs, FastJobs? And let's spell your name, because Joelle could be spelled 16 ways from sunrise. Joelle, Pang with a P is fairly obvious.
Mhm.
Find you on LinkedIn or email you, or how do they find you?
So definitely look for me on LinkedIn. I'm quite active there, and you can look for me with just Joelle Pang, or you can always drop me an email at joelle@fastco.asia.
Sounds terrific. Any last words, Stephen?
I would just really like to thank you. Thank you for being up a little bit on the late side so that our listeners can learn more about the job markets in Singapore, Malaysia, and how FastCo helps them. For the record, I have one cell phone, but it's not just my cell phone that controls my life. It's also my dog.
The dog is your cell phone, or the dog controls your life?
The dog controls my life.
Got it.
Yes.
Got it. Joelle, thanks very much.
Thank you so much. It was a great chat.
Thank you.
Inside Job Boards and Recruitment Marketplaces is a co-production of Evergreen Podcasts, College Recruiter, and the AIM Group.
Please subscribe for free on your favorite app. Review it. 5 stars are always nice. And recommend it to a couple of people you know who want to learn more about job boards and recruitment marketplaces.
Special thanks to our producer and engineer, Ian Douglas. I'm your host, Peter Zollman of the AIM Group, the leading global consultancy in the field of marketplaces and classified advertising. Find out more about our reports on recruitment marketplaces, job boards, and classifieds, including our new Recruitment Marketplaces Annual, at aimgroup.com/reports.
I'm your host, Stephen Rothberg, of job search site College Recruiter. Each year, we help more than 12 million candidates find great new jobs. Our customers are primarily Fortune 1000 companies, government agencies, and other employers who hire at scale and advertise their jobs with us. You can reach me at stephen@collegerecruiter.com.